Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on Tesla. So this morning I bought some Tesla. None of this is investment advice, of course, only entertainment. But I want to make this video to highlight why Tesla is so much better than all of your products and why I think it's a great investment and why I am thankful for Elon Musk selling some shares last week because shares are very, very cheap, insanely cheap. So how can a company like Tesla only be trading at a forward PE of 35 and a current PE of 54. It doesn't make any sense. This company is a cash machine. This company is attracting most customers in the EV world, and the EV world will be the only type of world to speak of when it comes to automotives in a few years. Tesla has just begun. Tesla has just begun. They only have 2.6%. When I do my little back of a napkin calculation, they only have 2.6% of the global car market, yearly car market. So $4 trillion of cars are sold each year. 76 million cars, and they only capture 2.6% of that. And Tesla has just begun, has just triggered, this is important, Tesla triggered the adoption S-curve for electric vehicle. It triggered it single-handedly. This is where we're at. This is my vision of where we're at. We're in 2020. Tesla's right here. Most cars sold each year right now are gas cars. And by 2030, more than half will be electric cars. And by 2040, everything will be electric. And this is the S-curve. This is what I believe Tesla is writing. Tesla is triggering that S-curve. So 50% growth a year compounded for the next 10 to 15 years is absolutely possible. It's absolutely possible. Like, people are scared right now because they're saying, "Oh, there's China demand issues." That doesn't matter to the thesis, to the long-term thesis of the company. Okay, so what if you have a quarter where year-over-year growth is 45%? Well, big deal, big deal. That is not a big deal. Like this company is single-handedly triggering an S curve. It's stunning, and so I hope to explain my thesis in just a little more detail, and taking a little different angle from my last video. But Tesla is what? Tesla. Why is Tesla my biggest position? Tesla is my biggest position. Why am I buying Tesla? Because it is a low uncertainty investment. When I invest in, say, a SaaS company, I like to think that I know tech very well, but if I'm not in that subsector, I'm not gonna know all of the intricacies, right? When I buy a software as a service company, when I buy a company, I don't know, in the beverage world, I don't know all of the intricacies of that business. But Tesla is easy to understand, both for customers and for investors. Right? In a former video, I was talking about Palantir. One of the problems with Palantir is that Palantir is very hard to understand for both customers and investors. Okay? Tesla is easy to understand for both customers and investors. So what does that do? That removes uncertainty, which then eventually reduces the risk of your investment because you are more certain, because we all understand cars and the world of cars. We all understand that industry. Well, most of us understand it, right? Most of us go to the gas station and know what a pain it is to go to the gas station. Most people have bought a car before. The more unfortunate ones have probably bought a car at a dealership, right? We're fully aware of how much car costs. We're fully aware of insurance and the game of insurance, of having to cancel your insurance every other year because they jack up prices. We're fully aware of how much it costs to repair a car, to maintain a car. We're fully aware, all of us, I would argue, of how car accidents are a big deal that can be avoided today if we have full self-driving, because most of us are amateur drivers, right? If we don't drive, if you don't drive 8 hours a day, if you don't drive 8 hours a day, you're an amateur. You're an amateur driver. We're not professional drivers. Most of us are not professional drivers. These are all some of the pain points. There's way more pain points, by the way. But Tesla is attacking every single one of these pain points one by one. Tesla is like the iPhone 1 versus the Nokia 3310. Sure, Snake 2 was a great game in Nokia 3310, but it's not comparable to all of the apps and all of the games that iPhones had, if I were to make an analogy, right? It's like it took over. And sure enough, when iPhone came around, people criticized heavily. Nobody's going to pay that much money for an iPhone because iPhones are like $300 and my Nokia is like 79. I'm exaggerating, but that's the general point I'm making. Right now, you see the same analogy with Tesla. Well, it's not the same thing. Teslas are the iPhone of the auto sector. They are the iPhone of the auto sector, and we know that. We know that. The jury is still out on who will be the Android. We don't know who will be the Android. Like, we don't know if it's going to be NVIDIA or Google. We're pretty sure it's not going to be any of the auto companies. Because, by the way, we call them electric cars, but electric car is probably a misnomer. We should probably call them smartphone on wheels. Should probably be a better name for them than electric cars. So we don't know. We have high uncertainty and high risk if we invest in any other company than Tesla, because we don't know whether they're going to make it or not. Jury is still out. Tesla is not. Tesla's jury is not. They are the one. They are the leader. And they are going to be, in my opinion, 50% of the market. Not investment advice, but that's just what it is. So let me move on. Let's talk about some of the past of Elon. And I don't like that word, but anyways, as some people call it. Elon is part of the PayPal mafia. Do you know what the PayPal mafia is? It's a series of wonderful entrepreneurs in the late 90s and early 2000s who blew away the world with their business genius. And one of the top books and concepts that was popularized by Elon Musk, who literally invented that with Peter Thiel at PayPal, was the idea of an order of magnitude, the idea of a 0 to 1 move. Right? Actually, if you pick up a copy of 0 to 1, you'll see that Elon Musk made important comments on the back cover, all related. So they literally invented the 10x product. They literally invented the concept of a 100x product, the concept of 0 to 1 product. It's like, yeah, a backup camera, say on a legacy auto, is not a 0 to 1 move. It's maybe 5% better. No, 0 to 1 is aiming at 100%, 900%, 10,000% better, right? There is no marketing needed when your product is 10x or 100x better. Buyers flock to you. Buyers become advocates. They can't stop talking about it, right? Meet Tesla owners. Tesla owners can't stop talking about their Teslas. And I don't own a Tesla because I like the stock better. But I have friends who own Teslas. They can't stop talking about it. They can't. They just won't shut up about it. Right? Just like for iPhones. If you remember iPhones in 07, 08, 09, that was the same thing. Right? Tesla is the initiator and main benefactor of the S-curve. It triggered that S-curve. The technological change of electric car was triggered by Tesla. So when you're 10x or 100x player, you initiate your S-curve. You own your S-curve. And first you're going to benefit from your S-curve. You become like a black hole, absorbing an entire industry. Because customers flock to you, buyers flock to you. They all want your product because your product is 10x, 100x, i.e. one order or two orders of magnitude better. So you become like a black hole, absorbing the entire industry, absorbing all of the customers because you are that much better. And of course, some customers, some industry members, some community members, government, they try to argue. But I ask you, you can't argue with gravity, can you? You know, if you argue with gravity, it doesn't end well. Right? You end up falling. You can't argue with gravity. So this is much closer to what Tesla is. Let me move on. How many orders of magnitude is Tesla? So as I've said, when a product is 10x or 100x better, you can't help but customers flocking to you. You can't help but customers fighting to get your product. And we saw that with Teslas, where you had like insane wait times. You know, like some Teslas, like the Model X was more than a year wait time. But you know, how many orders of magnitude is a Tesla? Well, I ask you, how many orders of magnitude were gas cars over horses? Right? The revolution took less than 10 years. Between 1903 and 1913, you had horses everywhere in 1903, and in 1913, no more horses. Insane. Still the same way. Carnegie. How did Carnegie become the richest man in the world? Because he initiated and rode the revolution of steel, and steel took over construction. Steel took over just about everything. Everything is made out of steel. Carnegie rode that way, right? Planes. Why did planes win over liners? Why don't people take boats between the US and Europe? Because planes killed that business. How many orders of magnitude better are there? Missiles. Why don't we use swords anymore? Because missiles are so much better than swords, because you project energy. So these are examples of technologies that have followed a 10x or 100x better process, where if you are that much better, everybody will flock to them, right? That's why we don't see people going to war with swords anymore. That's why we don't see people taking ocean liners anymore. That's why we don't build bridges out of wood anymore, or tall buildings out of rock anymore. That's why we use steel. That's why we don't drive horses. We use gas cars. And this is why Teslas are going to win. Because in the future, we will be driving smartphone on wheels. Just like we have adopted prior technologies that are 10x, that are one order of magnitude, two orders of magnitude better. I believe that Tesla will be adopted, not because people like or dislike Elon Musk, not because of Elon Musk's tweets and political views, and not because the regulator loves it or hates it, but just because you can't argue with gravity. Just because you can't argue with technology. Technology is neutral. They have a better technology. It doesn't matter how much someone hates Teslas. It doesn't matter how much someone hates the look of Teslas. They are going to buy it because it's akin to moving from a horse to a gas car. That's the same order of magnitude better. So let me go to the second part of the video, which is my subtitles in this video. How many 10x improvements can you spot? And I'm only looking from the side of a consumer. I'm only looking at the top line growth and what's going to lead top line growth. And I'm probably going to make a video about why it's 10x better from the side of a manufacturer. But you know, I won't be talking about gigafactories, gigacastings. I won't be talking about all of the things which make Teslas better on the back end. I'm just talking about why are Tesla better from a customer standpoint, from what's going to grow your top line. The top line is the most important thing to me because you can't falsify the top line. You can't falsify success. So what is it? What is it that makes Teslas better than gas cars? Right? In my opinion, for consumers, why are consumers going to flock to Tesla like they are attracted by gravity? Why are they going to be attracted by the black hole that is Tesla, to use this analogy? So, most places, it's $6 to $7 for a full charge for about an equivalent number of miles to drive. And it's $70 for a gas tank. That's a 10x. And if you go back to my prior videos on Tesla, I detail that. That's a 10x. That's 10x cheaper. 1 million miles. Look up online. How many Teslas have more than 1 million miles on them? Versus 150,000 miles for a gas car. Maybe 200,000 miles. I don't really know. How much better is that? 5x? 7x? Wow. That's a lot. Almost no repairs. Almost no repairs. That's a third one. Keep in mind, I'm going through all of the 10Xs. How many times Teslas are 10X better? Almost no repairs. Only 18 moving parts. Versus tons of repairs on a regular gas car. I mean, you have an entire industry that is dedicated to fixing gas cars. You have entire streets in towns around the world that are just dedicated to fixing gas cars. Like it's an entire business. I mean, this is insane. There's very few moving parts on a Tesla. That's why they last 1,000,000 miles. It's related. Almost no maintenance, right? You don't need to go do your regular oil change. You don't need to top up all of your levels, change transmission. All of these issues that you have with regular cars, you don't have because you have almost no maintenance with a Tesla because you have no moving parts or very few moving parts, right? Software update. This is a big deal. You're not going to notice that in the first year of owning a brand new car, but you'll notice this in year 5, right? Teslas have software updates over time. So the car gets better over time. New software gets rolled out to all of the Teslas. Traditional auto cars don't have updating software as much as they claim that they do. Go look at so many Tesla YouTubers that there are out there who really go into great detail as to why automakers are just doing marketing when they say they have software updates or over-the-air updates. It is marketing. It is not nearly to the depth that Tesla software updates work. You know, again, this is one thing that I think I'm maybe one of the few people to emphasize that never go to a gas station anymore. If I were to make a poll, I am sure I would find half the population who hates going to a gas station. Gas stations are done once you have a Tesla. You plug it in at home before you go in the house. Put it in the garage, plug it in. Find it in the morning full. It's a huge deal. You don't have to go to the gas station anymore. That's a huge deal. Like people say that batteries are an impediment to Tesla. The lack of charger is an impediment to Tesla. They entirely forget the fact that most car owners, electric car owners, are charging at home. So it is actually a plus to not have to go visit a gas station. I am sorry, but when I buy my Tesla, I am not going to miss going to the gas station. I'm entirely not going to miss it. Not valuable to me, and I think a lot of people don't find that going to a gas station adds value to their life. So again, how much better is that? But you never have to go to a gas station better. Again, is it 10x better? To me, it is. Right? The car will eventually drive itself, and I know there's so much of criticism online, but the cars are. But like, are you kidding me? Have you seen these videos of people having their Tesla drive them? Like it's science fiction. We will get there to where these are shipped. Like it's almost there. In the grand scheme of things, if you have to wait 1 more year or 2 more years, it doesn't change much. It's stunning what they've done with the car driving itself. Again, if you get a gas car, forget about it. You're not getting that. They're not there yet. Eventually, the car driver will set back home. Right? So imagine that. This is going to be another big deal. It's like you can have your car drive you to the airport. You can have your car drop you off at some event and go drive itself back. I could also talk about robotaxis. Some people say that you're going to be able to rent your Teslas as robotaxis. There's a lot of options that you can have once the car drives itself. Parking in cities is going to be disrupted by this, by the car driving itself back. The car can drive itself back home. Like that, I think that will be within the next few years. That will be one of the hugest innovations. Again, not an option with gas cars. When that happens, how many 10x better is that, right? Okay. I am sorry, but if you study popular culture of today, what is the cool brand of today? Is the cool brand of today a Honda, a Mercedes, a BMW? Or is the cool brand of today the Tesla? And there is no doubt to me, if you study popular culture today, which is mostly based online, the quote-unquote cool brand is the Tesla. It is not the old brands, and many car buyers are very sensitive to buying the brand that has aura, the brand that makes you look good. It's like one of the many points of car. I mean, not to me, but to a lot of people are like, okay, well, you gotta have a cool car because you gotta show up to your meeting. You want to make sure that you show up in a nice car. You want to make sure that you make a good impression, right? Teslas are gonna make a very good impression because they are a cool brand in popular culture, especially among millennials, especially among Gen Z. Those BMW used to be the cool brand, but they're not the cool brand anymore. Okay, maybe you disagree with me on that one, but that's okay. Moving on. And I think this one is very hard to argue against. Buy online. You buy your Tesla online. You don't have to go to a dealership. Like most of our car brands, sure, they have a nice website and you can configure the website, but then you have to go to a dealership and you refer to a dealership. The dealership system is a legacy system. I mean, when you walk into a dealership, you have a usually a salesman, like coming at you and just sticking to you. I mean, and putting pressure. I mean, this is insane. Like the way dealerships work is not in line with the customer-centric culture of today. Today, customers expect a great buying experience and a digital buying experience. There is no reason that we have dealerships still. And with Teslas, you buy online. I think to a lot of people who have had a bad experience with dealerships, this is a very big deal that you don't have to go to a dealership again. You're not here to get ripped off. You're not here to get pressured into buying XYZ option. You do it comfortably from home whenever you want. That's a big deal in how the product is sold. This is a huge marketing improvement. Okay. I was saying it's a smartphone on wheel. The car has a computer on board, a very good computer, very, 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 very good computer, where you can play the latest video games. You can watch the latest series. That's valuable. If you follow software in the traditional auto world, you realize we are nowhere near that. We are nowhere near having a full computer on board with a customized OS. Huge difference. Then, clean, rapid chargers everywhere. And a lot of people say, oh, the range anxiety is a problem with Teslas. Oh, what are you going to do? Well, first of all, when's the last time you've checked the map of superchargers? Because the map of superchargers, if you think superchargers are bad, check the maps. Follow the Tesla Twitter supercharger page. They are installing those also at an exponential pace. They are slowly becoming everywhere. And I would argue that they are much better than unsafe gas station. And by the way, many of these new superchargers and these new Teslas do 200 miles in 15 minutes. Like it's not as long as you think, and it's gonna get better as it rides cost curves down. This is going to get better. As the tension within those charging cables is raised, the kilowatt edge of these chargers is bigger and bigger. You're going to charge those cars much faster at home. Like, sure, it takes 8 hours to charge your car at home because you don't have a supercharger. A supercharger doesn't have a kilowattage to charge your car that's proper. But if you do that on the side of the highway, right, they're going to have those good chargers that are right now 15 minutes and that are going to go down. So again, be careful. If people attack Tesla using data about rapid chargers that is 6 months old, they are being disingenuine, because those chargers are popping up everywhere. I also want to say this. Going to a gas station, a lot of them are unsafe. And when you're on a road trip, you don't know what's a safe area and what's not a safe area. I mean, sure, you could tell, but you don't know. Like, I understand that locally, going to your local gas station can be safe because you know which one is good and which one is not good. But if you live in the modern era full of the news, gas stations, there's a bunch of them that are not safe. Not safe. You know, they sell alcohol, they sell substances that are not recommendable at many of them. It's not a good mix. It's not a good mix for, you know, like your typical family. I mean, with an expensive car. No, it's dangerous. Like it's like I hate to say it because obviously often you can tell, but there's a reason why they have so much light at gas stations, why gas stations are so bright. Like, there's a reason for that. So I actually think it's much safer to go to a rapid charger and wait 15 minutes than it is to go to a gas station. Again, maybe not 10x better to most people, but I think to some people this is 10x better. Some people really hate gas stations with a passion. Okay, move on. I told you this was Tesla is the king of the king of 10x, the king of like so much better on everything. That's what Elon does. It's crazy. Highest safety ratings. Those cars have the highest safety ratings of all cars. Did you know that? That's insane. If you buy another brand, it really depends. Best air filters. Again, not promoted enough, but if you live in a big town, you know that smog is a big issue. That's why we have these e-check, pollution checks, etc. Teslas have huge air filters for certain segments of the population who have issues with breathing. This is a 10x. This is the 10x that they would be interested in. Okay, I put this one just for fun, but the Cybertruck is going to be bulletproof, and I'm like, why not? Why not? I could see a lot of truck buyers really, really loving that their truck is bulletproof. So that's Elon. Whenever Tesla can find a spot to put a 10x, they add a 10x to whatever feature. Okay, this is another big one, which I never, I don't understand. I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of sports car enthusiasts buy Teslas, but I don't understand why this is not even as widely known. Teslas have the best driving performance of any car. Of any car. They for adjusted for the price, right? Because I could see someone coming and saying, "Oh, that's not true. Look at the Bugatti, whatever. The Bugatti is actually better." Yeah, but the Bugatti cost $1 million. Like on a dollar for dollar um, driving performance comparison, there are a few Teslas that do a 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds that are reasonably priced for the type of vehicle you get. So the driving performance is insane on Teslas. The acceleration is pretty crazy. And again, most gas cars, unless you want to buy something that's like $300,000, $500,000, most gas cars are not going to compete. So if this is important to you, this may be your 10x that leads you to flock to Tesla. And I'll finish with the Tesla insurance, which I think is also one of their business model disruptions. Just like dealerships are getting in trouble because people want to buy online, I think this could happen for insurance too. If you're a Tesla owner, you're more likely to buy a Tesla insurance because Tesla is going to charge you less because your car, as we saw in the way it's built and the number of parts it's got and the self-driving option, your car is less likely to have accidents, your car is less likely to break down, thus your price should be lower. But the legacy auto industry, auto insurance industry, again, is not necessarily doing a good job of that. And actually, I would never write off insurance companies getting disrupted. They've been disrupted so many times, from State Farm to Geico to Progressive. Geico was first on the phone. Progressive was first online. I would not be surprised if insurance companies get disrupted again. It's a very tough business. So again, Tesla insurance may be a big deal for you. There's other 10x's that do not come to mind right now, and I wanted to keep the video under an hour, which I'm probably at under an hour. But I will just conclude by saying that if you add these all up, Tesla is the mother of all 0 to 1 companies. It literally invented the concept. Elon is on the lookout for anything that is going to be 5x, 10x better. And whenever Elon Musk and the Tesla team finds anything that makes the product multiple times better than the former version, they will add it to the car. That is how you create a company's business model based on gravity and based on customers really fighting to get the product. And again, I think Tesla is a masterpiece of business practice. It is a true masterpiece of business practice, and it will be studied for centuries. Just like the printing press, just like Henry Ford, just like Carnegie and Rockefeller are still studied today. I believe Tesla will be one of those companies that redefines how business is done. They have the best smartphone on wheel for the cheapest price available out there. And so the value is so compelling that I think buyers will flock to it. Which is why I do not understand how a company like this, so early in its growth, only 2.6% of a total $4 trillion market, such huge growth runway, such huge total addressable market. I do not understand. And I'm not even talking about how much more profitable they are than the industry as a whole. Not talking about all the other projects that they have, like the bot. Again, I do not understand how it's trading that cheap. I really don't. Not investment advice, but I'm happily buying the stock, and maybe one day I'll sell some stock to buy myself a Tesla as well. Anyways, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I appreciate too if you follow me on Twitter. I hope to do more threads going forward on there. And none of this has ever been investment advice, and none of this will ever be investment advice. Thank you so much. Have a great day.